Alright. Now, what is the current percentage of me being spoiled? I'd say I've officially been spoiled for Spider-Man No Way Home. And right now, I want to be pissed about it, but also, I want to be happy about it at the same time. I hope that face impression didn't give anything away. Hello, welcome back to another movie review on the channel, and now we've come to the Tom Holland films. And I literally just finished watching Far From Home, but there's a 50-50 chance I may be able to do that, but if not, I'm most likely going to have all day to do that, and I'm hoping I can upload it tomorrow before I make my movie vlog, but... So yeah, let's not waste any time and get to my thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, this one's going to be a long one because this is a 1, 2... Another 4-page. God, I write so much. And literally, my hand hurts from writing. Because, like, I've been writing a lot. You know, writing my thoughts with these Spider-Man movies. And just... God, when you write that long, your hand starts to hurt very much. Anyways, let's get down to business. So, sadly, TASM 2 had became one of the worst Spider-Man movies, according to Spider-Man fans. And sadly, everything that was coming after TASM 2 was cancelled by Sony, including The Amazing Spider-Man 3. So, we came yet to another reboot for Spider-Man. But this time... Spider-Man enters the MCU. About damn time, baby! But let's recap on Spider-Man's first appearance in the MCU, and that was Captain America Civil War, a movie I definitely remember seeing in theaters with my mom and brother. And oh my god. When I saw him take Cap's shield, I had immediately lost my mind, because not only it was like the most awesome thing to see, like that shot with him just holding the shield, that will be one of the best shots we'll see of Spider-Man, but still, that was not only awesome, but I was incredibly blown away to see Spider-Man in an MCU trailer / movie. I've been dying to have him coming into the MCU, because I've been dying to have him interact with the Avengers. Now, at first, I thought it was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but I noticed a couple of things. First, the suit was upgraded. It was very new. And second, his voice sounded completely different, so I pretty much knew this was a different actor, but either way, I was so damn hyped. So Spider-Man Homecoming takes place after the events of Civil War, and after seeing the trailers for Homecoming, I was excited, but the trailers were mad to me, but I was still excited though. And I badly wanted to see this movie back in 2017, but sadly my dad never took me to see Homecoming in theaters, but I begged him and begged him to take me to see it. But sadly, I eventually just somehow forgot about it. And the fact that I forgot about wanting to see this in theaters, I'm so disappointed with myself about it. Because I love Spider-Man. I'm obsessed with Spider-Man. And just, if there was anything related to Spider-Man, I would be there. Whether it be a movie, a video game, comic book, whatever. Like I said, I'm just obsessed with Spider-Man. Anything related to Spider-Man, I'll be there. Somehow. It just depends on what it is, I guess. But I'm upset I never got to see Homecoming in theaters back in 2017. Alright, now my thoughts on Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I freaking love him as Spider-Man! He's now became my most favorite live-action Spider-Man version out of Tobey and Andrew, but don't get me wrong. I love all three Spider-Man. I love all three live-action versions of Spider-Man. But bro, I cannot wait to see the three of them fight together, which will be freaking legendary. I cannot wait to just see them in No Way Home. If they'll be in the movie, I'm hoping, but honestly, after everything, with just everything that's just been going on the past year, they gotta be in the movie. Like, I'm having trouble, I've been having some trouble doubting, but after watching 3C's Films' video, like, I'm, like, remembering, oh, wait a minute, but there is proof, like, they're technically in the movie. Just, like, still, man, they gotta be in the movie. I'm hoping they're in the movie. But yeah, he's became my most favorite Spider-Man, but I gotta admit, he's actually pretty perfect as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Now, people had criticisms for Tobey and Andrew being the perfect Spider-Man, but not perfect Peter Parker. Well, for Tobey, it was him being the perfect Peter Parker, but not perfect Spider-Man. But for Andrew, it was not perfect Peter Parker, but perfect Spider-Man. Or it's the other way around. But if anything, Tobey is my childhood and OG Spider-Man. Andrew is my favorite because he's amazing as Spider-Man. And Tom, most favorite out of the three. Heck, I will say all of them are my favorite. And I won't care what people say about it. Anyways, back to topic. So yeah, I honestly forgot how the heck I saw this movie, but I definitely had seen it sometime in 2017, because it was 2018. I saw Infinity War, Ant-Man 2, Black Panther. I saw a ton of superhero movies in 2018, so I'd have no memory of ever seeing that in 2018, so I definitely somehow saw that sometime in 2017. Now, I either saw this online, thanks to my dad not taking me to see it in theaters back in 2017, or I saw this at home on DVD, and I want to believe I saw it online, but I definitely believe that I saw this at home. But let's start off with some of the positives I have for this movie. So first of all, the suit has to be one of the best Spider-Man suits I have ever seen. It's my most favorite because not only the suit looks badass, but the details on the suit. Like, I am too obsessed with the details on the suit. Like, I just can't get over it. But one of my thoughts on the homemade suit. Now, it's cool. It's just not my favorite, but if anything, Tobey Maguire's version is the OG. Andrew's version, the worst. Tom's version of the homemade suits, I mean. Yeah, this one's probably one of the best homemade suits ever made. Now on with the villain, and that is the Vulture, who, I gotta say, at first, when I saw this dude in the trailers, I was like, what the heck is that? Who the heck is that guy? Eventually, I found out who it was, and I gotta say, the Vulture is a top-tier MCU villain and a top-tier Spider-Man villain. Like, no joke, the Vulture in this movie was the best villain I've seen for a Spider-Man/MCU movie. Like, Michael Keaton knocks it out of the park. But the theme for the Vulture, it is as close to being as good as the Electro theme from TASM 2, as the Electro theme is my most favorite theme, as I explained it in my last review for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That my most favorite Spider-Man villain theme would be Electro's theme. But still, it is as close to being as good as the Electro theme from TASM 2, because the Electro theme is my most favorite for a Spider-Man villain. But yeah, Vulture was one of the best parts about Spider-Man Homecoming. Next is Ned Leeds, who I had recently found out was apparently Hobgoblin. Well, I found out a while back, whether it be last year or this year. And at first, I was like, who the heck is this guy? Where the heck is Harry? So yeah, I was upset that we weren't going to get a Harry Osborn in the MCU, but after seeing Homecoming, I actually liked Ned. He was a very likable character, so he became a favorite of mine throughout this entire movie, but of course he was a really funny character in Homecoming, especially with that line when he says, well, this. I was looking at porn. Oh, dear God, I may actually want to cut that out. Now my thoughts on the new love interest, if you get what I mean, for Homecoming, and that is Liz, who I was like, okay, new love interest. I probably saw that coming, but hey, let's get to know her. Let's see if she's a likable character as MJ and Gwen from the other Spider-Man movies. And to be honest, I'm a bit mixed on her, but I wouldn't say she didn't suck, but I do feel bad about Liz when not only she finds out that her dad is the Vulture / is a criminal, but also that Peter had left her at a homecoming dance. So much for giving her a good time, Pete. Or should I say, Pedro? But what about Iron Man being in Homecoming now? Honestly, I was surprised to find out that Iron Man was going to be in this movie, because I never thought anything like that would happen in a Spider-Man movie, but hey, I dug it. But it would make sense for him to be in Homecoming, because Tony was the one to recruit Peter in Civil War, since Peter went on Iron Man's team. He's pretty much Team Iron Man. And now he's Iron Boy Jr.'s mentor. And yes, I'm aware that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is pretty much Iron Boy Jr. But he won't be Iron Boy Jr. for long once No Way Home comes out, which already has. And lastly, the score for this movie, which will be the original soundtrack. It is as good as the score for Sam Raimi's trilogy, but I did like how they played the Spider-Man theme during the Marvel Studios intro. Never gets old. But the fight scenes for this movie, I don't know if there's any memorable ones, but they may not be as good as the fight scenes from Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man movies, but they're still damn cool and fun to watch. But my most favorite scene has to be when Peter tries to lift up all that crumble or whatever. Basically all that destruct crumble when he gets trapped under there. But like, that has to be my favorite scene when he's just trapped. He then just lifts up. Because it's amazing to watch. Because when he gets scared and is crying being trapped, I was kind of getting scared for Peter. Like, just, I was kind of, my heart was probably pounding. But still, I was getting scared for Peter. But still, that scene was just amazing though. And I've been wondering how the heck did Tony and Pepper got married. And I think Homecoming was the movie that they got married. Because, how do I put this? Because this would be the movie that Tony Stark proposes to Pepper. Well, it's off screen, but it's in the scene. I don't know how to explain it, but he proposes to Pepper in this movie. But like, how the heck did Happy Hogan get the ring in his pocket from 2019? Because technically, Homecoming takes place in 2019, since in the beginning it was 2012, but then 8 years later, 2019. But those are my positives I have for Homecoming. Now let's talk about my thoughts on the movie. And I gotta say, I did like it. But it's sadly my least favorite Tom Holland movie. Okay, before you guys start to hate me for thinking that I dislike this movie, and that you guys would think that this is the worst Spider-Man movie in my opinion, hear me out. I don't think it's the worst. I was just a little disappointed with some stuff in this movie, but I think Homecoming is a really good Spider-Man movie. I was just disappointed, but still, I still liked it though, because like I said a couple of reviews ago, I don't think I could ever hate a Spider-Man movie. Sure, I'll be disappointed, but I'll still like it either way. But it was 25% disappointing, but 75% not disappointing. Now that I think about it, I kind of feel bad that I put this in the last place in my MCU ranking. Once I see No Way Home, I'm going to need to change up my ranking. So all of the negatives I have, or nitpick I got for Homecoming. First of all, I'm annoyed we didn't even get to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man origin like we saw for Tobey and Andrew, but I liked how they kind of didn't start with the origin in this one. I liked how Homecoming was different from the other Spider-Man movies, but I'm still going to be annoyed that we didn't get to see Peter get his powers. But one thing I'll mainly be annoyed with is that who the heck is the MCU version of Uncle Ben? But I think we should all thank episode 5 of What If for mentioning not only Peter's parents, but also Uncle Ben, which tells you that Uncle Ben exists in the MCU. Best part, we will actually get to see his origin story in an animated series coming to Disney Plus next year called Spider-Man Freshman Year. Thank you, Marvel. Love you 3000. On with Aunt May. Yes, I'm aware that everyone is sipping out on how hot Peter's aunt is in the movie, and I would want to agree, but honestly, I ain't a simp. I may be a simp for some female characters in the MCU, but I ain't a simp for the MCU's Aunt May. Because honestly, I don't think she's the worst Aunt May, but I think she's the weirdest Aunt May we've ever had in a Spider-Man movie. Now for the final battle. I liked it. I thought it was one of the coolest final battles we've got in a Spider-Man movie, but one thing I was not a fan of about this final battle was that Peter was wearing the homemade suit. I mean, I liked the suit. I just would have preferred him to wear the Stark suit, but after rewatching it, it's not as bad as I thought, but honestly, I thought that the Vulture had died in this movie, but I later find out that Peter was able to save him. So yeah, I'm actually glad that Peter was able to save the Vulture, because things could have gone worse for Liz. But hey, at least she still got a dad. But I'm actually really glad that the Vulture didn't die in this movie. That was one of the best parts. The Vulture didn't die, because I could sometimes be annoyed if a Spider-Man villain die on accident, if you know what I mean. But hey, he didn't die in this movie, so props to Marvel for keeping him alive. Since he's going to be appearing in Morbius, which, speaking about Morbius, seriously though, what the hell is going on with Morbius? But speaking about Liz, Peter didn't get the girl, but instead loses the girl. Because she moves away because her dad didn't want his family to be there for his trial, and I was just annoyed that Peter didn't get the girl, and that he left her at Homecoming to stop her dad from robbing stuff off a plane that did some very serious damage at a beach. Like, how the heck are they all gonna clean all that up? That's a stupid question. Forgot that I said that. But still, I was ready to like the new love interest, but I was disappointed in the end. But wait till I get to Far From Home with MJ. And speaking about MJ, instead of Mary Jane Watson, it's Michelle Jones. Or MJ for short. But she wasn't a dislikable character, but seriously though, I was legitimately surprised to find out that this was our MCU version of MJ. Like, what the oh my god, Dad. I actually almost forgot something. Speaking about what the if you know what I mean. Now, honestly, MJ was kind of weird in this movie, but she honestly was barely in the entire movie. But all my thoughts with the ending and Peter refusing the offer to join the Avengers. So yeah, Peter barely wanted to join the Avengers, but I was annoyed that he changed his mind about it later. But honestly, I think he made the right decision. Because this whole movie was about Peter learning a lesson, which I'm going to have trouble explaining, so I ain't going to bother explaining why. But still, if you know what I'm talking about, him learning a lesson in this movie, you should probably know what I mean. And I like that, because I consider him to be an Avenger, whether he's on the team or not. But I'm afraid he won't be an Avenger for long once we get to No Way Home, as because we technically know the spell's gonna work, okay? It's pretty obvious. The spell's gonna work. I was gonna forget Peter Parker's identity, and yeah, with that, not only Doctor Strange will forget, but also the other Avengers. So that I just have a bad feeling he's probably not gonna be an Avenger again. And now that I think about it, he's actually one of the first Avengers to be a young Avenger or something. I don't know, but still, he ain't gonna be an Avenger for long once we get to No Way Home. I'm not ready for No Way Home. Oh, dear God. But, like, holy freaking crap. This is now actually the first time that Aunt May has actually found out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But I could not believe Aunt May had just found out that her nephew was Spider-Man. I mean, Tobey and Andrew's Aunt May probably figured it out, but, like, this was, like, the first time that Aunt May had found out that Peter was Spider-Man. But final thoughts for Homecoming. Like, the shocker. I like both versions of the Shocker, but when the first one was killed off by the Vulture, that death had scarred me and still scars me to this day. But what about the post-credit scenes now? Honestly, I don't even know if we're going to see Scorpion in No Way Home, now that I think about it. But I had realized something while rewatching this movie. When he said that he had some boys on the outside that would love to meet Spider-Man, that had hit me into realizing, oh my god, are we getting the Sinister Six in the next Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy? Because that's what my head was telling me. So I don't think this will be the last time we see Scorpion, because once we get to the next Tom Holland trilogy, whether it'll be happening in the next 2 years or in the next couple of years, it's going to be insane. As much as we were very close to getting a Sinister Six, especially if it's a multiversal Sinister Six, I'm still glad that we're going to get to see Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Sandman from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man universe, and the Lizard and Electro from Mark Webb's Spider-Man universe and Spider-Man No Way Home. But still, I do think we will get to see the Sinister Six in the MCU very, very soon. But, like, bro, I'm like, hoping we get to see Spider-Man go against the Sinister Six. I barely want to see that go down. I barely want to see the Sinister Six. So freaking bad. But just... oh, like, literally, TASM 3 was all going to be about Sinister Six. We were this close to getting the Sinister Six. We were even going to get a Sinister Six in the TASM universe. But still, I'm hoping that day comes when Spider-Man faces 6 villains. And boy, it's going to be freaking awesome. Also, I did get the memo of what Captain America said in the second post-credit scenes about patience. Well, guess what? Even though I've been spoiled, it'll all be worth it. I'll eventually get over it. I've already gotten over spoilers for... now, actually, that's a lie. I'm never going to get over the fact I've been spoiled for Endgame. But still, I honestly don't think I'm going to get over the fact I was spoiled for No Way Home. But either way, it's all going to be worth it tomorrow once I see it. It's going to be worth it. And if you all have seen it, I hope the wait was worth it for you guys. But still, no spoilers though. I'm going to put some dirt in your eye. But even though Homecoming is my least favorite Spider-Man movie, I still like it and enjoy it. But yeah, I might nitpick the hell out of this movie. But I still think it's a great Spider-Man movie. And if anything, it is close to being as good as the first Spider-Man movie that Sam Raimi made back in 2002. But we shall see Spider-Man return in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. So to be continued on that. But those are just my thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming. And now... either I make Far From Home tonight, or do it tomorrow, which I gotta wake up very early in the morning. I don't know. I don't know how the heck am I gonna get up. I've recently been waking up at 8 to 10 a.m. But still, be sure to stay tuned for my review for Far From Home, whether it be tonight or tomorrow. But also, be sure to stay tuned for my movie vlog for Spider-Man No Way Home. And I am gonna be posting a movie reaction, like a quick video, because I'll most likely post my review on Saturday, because the movie's gonna be 2 hours long. We'll most likely be getting back either 9 or 10, depends really, I don't know. I'm gonna try post a movie review, but it's most likely gonna be posted around Saturday, so yeah, be sure to have your notifications on, but just still. God, I'm not ready for Spider-Man No Way Home. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.